So I just watched Batman Ninja. It's pretty sweet. So Batman Ninja is a Japanese animated Batman movie done in conjunction with the DC animated movies that they've been doing generally, and I really liked it. I've seen a lot of people online saying that they didn't, or that they were kind of lukewarm on it, and I can see that. I think it is going to be a fairly divisive one opinions-wise, but for me this worked absolutely. The character designs are very, very interesting. They got some of the top talent. I think they said it was the designer of Afro Samurai designed them, and someone who worked on Kill la Kill. I don't really know. I've not actually seen the animes that the people who made this also worked on, because I'm not that big an anime guy. I've only really got into some of it more recently, but this was something special for me. You can tell that these guys who are making it are some of the best people, because the designs are phenomenal. The animation is some of the best I've seen out of the DC direct-to-DVD movies, and it's very, very Japanese. Obviously the whole plot of it is that Batman and a bunch of the villains and the Bat family get transported to feudal Japan, and Batman has to stop the evil Joker who has become the lord of a specific region of Japan, and then there's also a region that's run by Penguin, one with Poison Ivy, Two-Face, Deathstroke, and Gorilla Grodd is also there. Actually, then there's also a cameo by Bane as a sumo wrestler, which was kind of interesting. So one thing I found a little bit weird with this is I bought the version of it to watch on Amazon, with the Amazon Direct Video, and to actually watch the Japanese version, which is what I watched, it starts halfway through the thing. You would have to watch the English version first, then the Japanese version, so I had to kind of fast forward through the dub, because I don't want to watch that, because you don't watch the dub if there's the option to watch the Japanese one. You never do that. The Japanese one is always better. So that's the thing that kind of annoyed me with it, but that's my only complaint, is that it was a bit of a faff to get to. Then you've got yourself a really entertaining movie. Some of the more Japanese elements of it is giant mechs. So each of the villains has their own giant mech, which at the end all merge together into one. So it's Batman fighting a bunch of his villains in a Megazord. I mean, how can you not find this just incredibly cool? There's a little painted animated section about halfway through the movie with Batman, Joker, Red Hood, and Harley Quinn, and that was really, really beautiful to look at. It was a little jarring compared to the rest of it, which is this kind of CG anime style, sort of similar to the anime Godzilla they did a little while ago, but it works in context, because it's a scene that's a very different tone to the rest of it, so it fits more or less, and it was very, very visually interesting to see. I mean, the whole thing is... I'm just going to keep harping on about how good the animation of this thing is, because it is like nothing that the DC output has been recently, which pretty much since I think the first of the more recent Justice League films has been really subpar in terms of the animation, especially. Killing Joke, the animation on that was terrible. I mean, that was a terrible movie in general, but the animation particularly was bad. And then also stuff like Gotham by Gaslight looked so cheap. But this one, you can tell some money went into this, or at the very least, it was a lot more creatively done, so that it feels epic. Every big visual you see feels earned and interesting, and there's no two things that are quite alike. And any movie where you get to have Batman and the Joker sword fighting with katanas on top of a burning building, it's worth a watch. The score to the movie is quite good as well. Again, I should have looked up the names of all the people who did it before I started making the vlog. This is some bad video making, David. Come on! But no, the score has a lot of very, very interesting flavour to it. There's really great tracks in there. There's one bit where there's a kind of a rap or hip-hop song, but in Japanese, which, again, for me, that's a minor thing that bugged me, because everything else was just felt like it fit. That one kind of didn't, but again, this is a very minor complaint for me. Seen a few people saying that they think the movie's boring. I didn't feel that at all. I thought it was very well paced, really good character moments, really good action. Everything about it was very well done. So yeah, I guess that is about the long and short of what I have to say about this movie, is that I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was worth paying for. I thought the animation was great, I think the voice acting is pretty good, I think the score is fantastic. I hope that this will be successful enough that DC will branch out and make more things like this, because I would really like to see them experiment more rather than just doing the rubbish that they've been putting out recently. So please, more things like Batman Ninja. We need more things like Batman Ninja in this world.